is it a mortal? Okay. Is it a mortal alone amongst us that we are to follow? So they come down now to back to the what we call to the brass tacks. So they say, wait, should we be following a mortal, a human being like us? He's a human being. I'm a human being. So despite all the things that he is talking about, Revelation and Allah and all these things, he's a human being and I'm a human being. Or we are human beings. So why should we follow somebody who's just a man like us, a human being? And not only
Maulana,
that.
1 minute, please. Maulana.
Mm-hmm.
Shaif said his Telegram thing giving him a little problems, right?
I'll wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's good problem sometime, you know.
Sound like you could go ahead, Ustad. Sister, you know how long I send that message? But I can now
Oh, okay.
So you're fixed now?
Yeah, I press record.
All right, cool. Yeah, so what we are saying is that we are on to Thamud now, another great people of the past. And they also deny the warnings of their prophet Saleh. And Allah brings them up to the Quraysh because they knew about them from a standpoint of history. And to show them that these people were greater than you, that big civilization. And if you compare yourselves to them, it's like chalk and cheese. Those people that went before are big, that great civilizations, and they were advanced. So despite your advancement, your technological capacity, your civilizational qualities, if you deny the message, things can happen to you. Allah can demonstrate his displeasure on you. So the people of Thamud, which is the other successive people that came after Ad, they said to their prophet, right, which was Saleh, they said, is it a mortal? Is it a man, a mere man, not really man, but a human being that we are to follow? This person is just a mortal, flesh, bashar. It's just flesh like me and you. And to make and to top it off, he come from us. We know him. So you know what gave him this right that we should follow him. So they were implying that if somebody was to be a prophet that they should follow, then it should come from them. You know, it should be somebody from their section. Not you know, that's implied in what they are saying. And what they're saying otherwise is this: you are a man, you are a human being. You know, why should we follow you? Why should we follow you? So this is what they told their prophet Saleh. So and also another thing is that they are saying, look how many of us there are, and he's only one. Look how many of us. He's only one man, you know, and he's not even a king. He's not even from the priestly caste. Okay, he's not from among the leadership of the society. So why should him be the one that we should follow? So all of that is basically to say we will not follow you. And every society is like this. You know, people feel that in terms of guidance, in terms of you know, putting out ideas and calling people that either you must have a PhD or you must come from a well-to-do family. Nothing wrong is coming from a well-to-do family. Nothing wrong is having a PhD. But these facts, just know that these things does not make you qualify to be somebody to take that somebody that the nation should follow. Okay, if Allah decides it's you, well, fine. But don't think that it will only come from these people. The guidance from Allah could come from anywhere. Even a humble carpenter like Jesus, Isa, like Allah Islam, who we call Jesus. It could come from Moses, who was a prince in Egypt. And his brother Harun, who was a shepherd and a priest in Egypt. Okay, it could come from Job, who was a rich man, yes, and Allah chose him. But Allah took away all his wealth as a trial for him. Or it could come from Ibrahim, a chief, leading his large, he had a large following, and he was a merchant, moving from place to place and trading. So this message could come from who Allah choose, really. You know, don't think it could only come from one place. And we must not, so we have to be careful, you know, and not be arrogant and telling Allah where to put his blessings. And that in itself is a test. Are you going to recognize Allah's blessing? Or are you going to oppose it just because you don't like the person who Allah has given that to? Which is something you yourself have to deal with. Instead of trying to having a problem with that person, ask yourself. In the middle of the night, sit down and ask yourself. By yourself, children sleeping, wife sleeping. If you're not wife, by yourself. Why Allah didn't put me to that position? And the answer will come, you know. They mightn't like it. But if you're a humble person, you will take the admonition from your soul. You will take the admonition, and Allah told you that this is why Allah did not choose you. So that means that you have to work towards that thing that Allah mentioned to you. And these things are reality, you know, just speak to Allah, just like you speak to anybody else. You know, you go to people and ask them for advice, ask Allah, you know, the advice will come. And it's good to develop that level of relationship with Allah. So they were displeased. And in the end of it, it is to say that we will never follow him. Then indeed, the verse continues, then indeed, we will be in error and in insanity. We will be in error and foolishness. So they said that if they just follow him, despite all the objections they have, if they decide to follow this Soleh, this prophet, despite the objections they have, they say we will just end up in error. Okay, we will fall into error. We'll be misguided. And they didn't leave it like that. And we will have lost our head. Meaning that we will not be thinking properly. And therefore, we'll become like insane people. Like, are you mad? This is the man you want to follow? Are you mad? Have you lose your head? Are you not thinking? Look at that man. Why the revelation come to this one or that one or to one of us? And he's just one of him. Who's to say he's right? So a crowd doesn't establish if something is truth or if something is false. You can have 1 million people on one side and one man or one woman on the other side, and the millions of people could be wrong. The size of a crowd has nothing to say or nothing to indicate that it is the truth. The truth stands on its own, and upon investigating the truth, then you will realize it is the truth. If you did not come with any preconceived idea. If you want to check it is the truth, you approach it with a clean slate. And then you research it, and then if your heart is correct and you seek guidance, then Allah will open up this truth to you. So they said, if we are to follow you, then we lose our head. We become like mad people. Has the reminder sent to him alone? Has the reminder been sent to him alone? Or has the reminder been cast? Like when you throw something, okay, like you want to catch an animal, you throw the rope and you lasso the animal, okay, has like so this revelation, has it been when it was thrown? That's the only person it caught. This is the using language, okay, to paint a picture. Just by using the right words. So Allah is likening the revelation that he sent as a rope that you throw to, somebody's drowning, you throw the rope and they pull them out. Or you want to catch an animal, you want to bring somebody, you pull them in with the rope. Okay? So he said that has the revelation been thrown or cast upon him alone from amongst us? So out of all of us, this revelation was thrown and it only ended up with him? No. But he is a conceited liar. So in other words, when they say, when the revelation was cast among us, and it fell only on him, it's similar to when you have a what do you call it? When people gambling, they have this thing and they throw it. Come on 6 and 5 and whatever, right? So it's something like that. That kind of picture, like the dice was thrown, and this is the result, solely. Right? And it's similar to, what we call casting lots. For example, if you have a very difficult decision to make, okay, you cast lots, if it's yes or no, or blank, right? And the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu used to cast lots when he has to travel, if he has to if he has to go somewhere, and he wants to go with one of his wives, but he don't want to choose anybody on his own, so he'll put, let me say, one name here and one name there, and the other one blank, and you'll throw it, and it will come up who is the person. Whoever person come up, that is the person that will go with him. Or he used to take sticks, and he might break one here, make one short, make one long, things like that, and then he hold it in his hand, and they draw lots. They pick one, and the person who come up with the shortest one or the longest one, that is the person that will go. All these are lots, casting lots. So they're saying, this is the only thing that the guidance was thrown and they came up with, solely. So in other words, it can't be him. So therefore, we will not follow him. And therefore, since it cannot be him, then nothing was revealed to him. He's lying. And not that he's just lying. He's very conceited. He thinks too highly of himself. What he has to equal us. What blood lineage he has to equal us. Where he come from, what city, what money, what family, what tribe, what leadership did he come from. So he's just a conceited young person, a young man, conceited. Think too highly of himself. And on top of that, he's a liar. An insolent liar. He don't care. He's telling you. He's been very insolent because they found that him telling them that they should follow him, he was disrespecting them. Therefore, therefore he was being insolent. He don't know his place. Okay, you are disrespecting the movers and shakers in his society. And who is him? Think too highly of himself. Think he's above us. They was looking like, because they have to follow him is a rank thing, like the rank of this world. The only rank he had was a prophet that received a reminder. And he's just passing on a message. But they was thinking about rank like king and lord and things like that. So he cannot lord over us. He thinks too highly of himself. He's out of place. Who are you? So they say, and they continue. Allah respond from the mouth of Soleh. They will know tomorrow who is the conceited liar. They will know tomorrow mean soon Allah's judgment will come. Or it could mean they will know in the next life, in hereafter, when the reality dawn on them. So anyhow, jump high, jump low. There's a time the knowledge will come to them and they will know. And what will they know? Who is a conceited liar? that this whole message and this whole mission of the Prophet Saleh was to place himself in rank above everybody else in his society. He was very conceited. He had no respect. He was being insolent to the natural rulers of the society. So Allah is saying in the mouth of Saleh that you will know who's the conceited liar. Soon, tomorrow, you will know. Because in the end, they'll be chastised for denying their prophet Saleh, alayhi salam. Indeed, we sent the she-camel as a trial for them. So watch them and be patient. So Allah said, indeed, we are sending the she-camel. And they said the she-camel came out of the rock because they asked Saleh to bring a she-camel out of the rock as a sign. And when Saleh asked Allah to do it, and Allah did it, that Allah said that it was a trial for them. Because if you ask for something like that, and Allah bring it forth, immediately you're supposed to submit. Immediately, talk done. But what you were asking the Prophet to do, he did it. So talk shall finish. That is it, kalas. It's over, kalas. It's over. No, it was not over. That was not enough. So that Allah say it became a test for them. You want something, here it is, and you reject it still, that is a test for you. You come like you pray to Allah to guide you. You pray the prayer of seeking guidance and the prayer to make proper choices in life. There's another way we can help us make proper choices. It's called Salatul Istikhara. The prayer of seeking what is good or what is the best. Okay, Istikhara. And you pray 2 rakats, and there's a special supplication prayer that you have to make at the end of it. And then after that, you watch your dreams and you watch your inclining. You watch what your heart and your mind incline towards. That's how the guidance will come. And these things work, but we don't use it. We don't use it. I think some of us scared that what it will tell us to do, we don't really want to do. We're scared. Because you can ask Allah for guidance, and He gave it to you through the prayer of seeking guidance. And when you realize, Allah say, okay, now go ahead and do it, or don't do it. So people will ignore what is said. They will set it aside because their heart wants something else. So why go through, you come like the people of Thamud. You ask Allah for the guidance, and when you ask Allah for a sign, and when He give you the sign, you don't like that sign. You reject it. Because you have in your mind what the sign should be and what it should not be. So all of these things, Allah used Allah dissect these stories, not as fairy tales or stories at the night, to sit down and think about it, But he pick out these things so that you can learn a lesson from them in your own life. So by bringing up Thamud and the Prophet Saleh alayhi salam, it's for your teaching also, it's for your life. That you ask Allah for something, and when you get it, you reject it. So it become a sign, it become a test for you. Okay, it becomes a trial for you, a test. So Allah tried them. So he tells Saul, look at them, watch them, or wait and see what they will do. Wait and see what they will do. And what will be done to them. So wait, be patient. See what they do. And then see what is done to them. And remain patient. Which means take all your insults. Take all the harm that they want to do to you. It's okay. Take all the slander that they send in your way. It's okay. All of those things they will answer for. And it doesn't matter if they believe they will have the answer or they don't believe they have the answer, they will answer. Because as I told you before, there's the rights of Allah and there's the rights of human being. If you transgress the rights of Allah, which when you say rights of Allah, what Allah expects of you to be done, His commands and pray 5 times a day, fast and everything, right? Or you fall short in those things, then you go to Allah and you seek forgiveness, you make tawbah, and you turn away from doing evil. So tawbah is not saying I'm sorry, and then you go right back to doing the thing that you say you're sorry about. You have to turn away, which means you have to take a next leaf. Turn a new leaf. Take a next way. Instead of going this way, go a next way. So that is what tawbah is. That is what seeking forgiveness is. Because you violated a right of Allah. But if you violate a right of man, you slander a person, you do him or her some kind of wrong that you know you shouldn't do against another human being. You tell lies on the person. You create situations for the person to get in trouble or for people to hate that person for your own selfish reasons. Okay, you have violated the rights of the human being. So if you violate the rights of a human being, going to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to ask for forgiveness without first getting the forgiveness of the person who you have dealt with unjustly, you're wasting your time. You have to go to the person who you have dealt unjustly with to secure their forgiveness. And Allah will forgive you. Because too many people feel that they could do another person all kind of things that they would like to be done to them. And then when they heart tell them, you're wrong, brother. You're wrong, sister. Your heart telling you that, your mind telling you like, we do wrong, you're wrong, it's something wrong you're doing. You just say, oh God, forgive me now, forgive me. And you feel that the matter ends there. No, the matter ends there. And the person can ask for his rights on the day of judgment. Okay? It can go so far that the person, if he keep you and he hasn't forgive you, and you come and ask for forgiveness or anything like that, then on the day of judgment, he can ask for his right against you. And then he will take some of your good deeds. So you better be a real righteous man if you're doing foolishness. And you're arrogant and you don't want to ask people for forgiveness for transgressing them. On the day of judgment, they'll just come and take some of your salat, some of your zakat, some of your fasting, all the blessings for all them things you do. They just come and take it. And you don't know what you'll end up with. This is how serious this thing is. And these laws are there in Islam to help us build a better society, a better community, where people live for and by each other. I'm not saying everything will go right all the time. We are human beings. And these are some of the measures to correct ourselves. Don't think you could just run Tala and everything done. It depends on what is the crime that you have done. So I mentioned that the last time. I just mentioned it again. So we are sending the she-camel as a trial. The she-camel to the Arabs was a prize camel, a female camel, because it is able to produce other camels. If you have a she-camel, you can go to somebody, pay them for the male camel to go with the she-camel. And when the she-camel get pregnant, then you have a baby camel, and you build up your flock of camels like that. So a she-camel was, a very important animal to own. Okay, very important. So let's send them not any old camel, raggedy down male camel. No. We sent a prize camel as a test. And it came out of the mountain, the rock, because they asked that the camel should come from there. So watch them and remain patient. See what they do and see what will be done to them. And remain patient. In other words, endure. Let's see what will happen to them. Ayah 28. And Allah tell them that the water is to be divided between them. Every drinking will be attended to. Okay? So tell them that the water in the water in the water is to be shared amongst them. And every drinking will be attended to, which means that they will drink in turn. There's a turn for each one. There's a time for each one to take turns in using the water. So the she-camel had to be, basically, Allah gave that animal a sort of respect in society, that the water, which is a very important resource, that the animal has a right and a time to drink water. So the people cannot come and demand water in the she-camel time. Nor should the she-camel come to drink water in the people's time. Remember, these were very proud and insolent people. They used to do plenty oppressive things. And imagine they have to share one of the most valuable resources with an animal. What's so they think of us? We should let the animal drink when we're ready for it to drink. And when it is drinking, we can chase it and we should drink. We are not letting on our rank to facilitate an animal. So, and the she-camel, one day for them and the next day for it, as I said, was to be divided and shared. So, and every drinking, which means every portion of water will be attended, which means that the people will draw water on their day that is designated for them to draw water. That is the day that you drink water. And that is the day the she-camel should drink water on its day. They followed this instruction and this request. Remember, them had asked for the she-camel, right? So initially, at the beginning, they followed. But eventually, as time went by, they lost their patience. They became impatient. And they decided to themselves, let us kill this she-camel. We can't take it. We cannot take it. So what did they do? Instead of following the decree, they decided to take their own way. Get the she-camel out of the way. Okay, we asked for it, but we had enough. But what they did, they called their companion, their friend. And Jalalain said that this man was called Qudar. Qudar, Qudar. They called their companion, so he took, and he hamstrung. So he took something, and he hamstrung the camel. See that they call Qudar, who took a sword. Because to hamstrung a camel, to kill a camel, you need a sword. Right? So he drew a sword and he killed the she-camel. He obeyed what they asked him to do. Now, I can't remember the verse right now. Allah mentioned this person. He said that this man, I think, was the worst of them. You know, it come like this person was the bad boy in the community. You know, the worst of them. Hey, you know, we kill this animal. You know, so he went and killed the animal in order to to do what they asked him to do. How then will my chastisement and my warning? How then will my chastisement and my warnings? So rhetorical questions, because they knew what happened after that. They knew that these people were punished. So Allah asking him, how then will my chastisement and my warnings? Which means my warning them of chastisement before it was sent down. That he warned them about the chastisement before it come. Before it came, he did not oppress them. He warned you all, don't do this. There are consequences for doing that. Don't do it. And you still went ahead, and then you want to blame Allah. Allah is wicked, and Allah is this, and Allah is that, and Allah is as the people today. They want to disbelieve, and they want to do all kind of things. And as they get in a jam, oh God, why me, God? Oh my God, what kind of God is this? Look at other people. Forgive me now. At least I just go to church on a Sunday. Oh. Right? And Allah said, how then will my chastisement and my warning? Indeed, for a surety, we let loose or we unleash upon them a single cry. So there was this loud voice. And when they heard that voice, they became chaff. Okay, they became chaff. of a corral builder. You know, when you're building a corral for animals, you use like straws. Okay, you spread it around. That's how they became. And the word Allah uses al-muhtazir. Okay, al-muhtazir. Al-muhtazir. They came like twigs, dried twigs, used by a person to build fences. So you can refer to the twigs that you make to make the animal comfortable, or you can refer to the pieces of the tree. You use it to help bar around a corral for the for the animals that it cannot be straying all over the place. But this word al-muhtazir, which Allah use, like they become chaff, would become like twigs, for the muhtazir. Jalalain said it is one who makes a pen. In those days, they didn't have plastic, right? So they used to make pens from wood. So they will get a dry twig and shape it down, shave it down. So one who makes a pen, Astaghfirullah. One who, not a pen to write, sorry, my mistake. A pen to keep animals, sorry. If you go Africa especially, you see them taking these twigs. And a lot of these twigs have thorns, and they use it to fence in the animal. Not sorry about that. So a pen from dry tree branches and thorns for his sheep with animals to protect them from wolves and other animals. Okay, so so they take these twigs from especially those trees that have thorns, and you set it up around the fence in the animal. Then you make a pen. Okay, and that person is called muhtazir, because it make it difficult for the wolves and the foxes, because if they come to sneak in, they'll get stuck by the thorns, and they make it high enough that it's difficult to jump over it. Okay, and other beasts of prey like tigers and lions, it's too much. These animals don't like too much. They don't like to expend or use too much energy in food, trying to feed themselves. So that's why you might see the female lions. When they go out to hunt, they take turns in chasing the animal. And if they caught the animal and they're exhausted, you see them stay there trying to catch back their breath. They don't really like to expend too much energy. So if you have to deal with these thorns to get at the animal, these lions and things and tigers and things, it's too much work, yes? You go for something easier. And for all the strength and bravery and rank that the lion have, when they attack a group of animals, a flock of sheep, for example, or bisons or deer, they normally take the weakest one, because they can run down a full, healthy deer. It's too much work. So they normally take the one that is weak, old, might be sick, it might be injured. This is the one they capture. And in a way, it is good, because what they are doing is that they are leaving back the healthy ones. And when the healthy ones mate, you'll have a stronger herd. Okay, you have a stronger herd. So you see how nature works. It supports the lion take the weak, the stragglers, the old, and the strong one go and they mate too strong together, and then you have a stronger a young animal. So they improve the herd by doing this. And so the one who makes the pen, Al-Muhtazir, he set these things up around penning the animal, and then the other parts of the tree, like the leaves and the little branches, like what we call straws and things, and throw it on the ground for the animals to walk on, to sleep on, instead of sleeping on the dirt itself. And you see it in when people, have animals in a pen. And the thing that the animals are sleeping on is called Hashim. Okay, it is called Hashim, like the straws. And then Allah say, indeed, we have made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will remember? And here that verse came up again, throughout this more than once. We continue.
And we have certainly made the Quran easy for remembrance. So is there any who will remember? The people of Lot denied the warning. Indeed, we sent upon them a storm of stones, except the family of Lot. We saved them before dawn. As favor from us, thus do we reward he who is grateful. And he had already warned them of our assault, but they disputed the warning. And they had demanded from him his guests, but we obliterated their eyes, saying, taste my punishment and warning. And there came upon them by morning an abiding punishment. So taste my punishment and warning. And we have certainly made the Quran easy for remembrance. So is there any who will remember?
Okay, and we come now to the famous or infamous people of Lot. So-called people who use one of the best symbols of Allah to represent themselves today. We know who they are. The people of Lot. Who was Lot? Nabi Lot, alayhi salam, Prophet Lot. He was a nephew of the Prophet Abraham, alayhi salam, Ibrahim. And according to the people of the book, the Jews, he traveled with Ibrahim and he settled in what's called Syria, and that part is called Israel today, or Palestine. And he settled there, but Abraham had a large following with plenty of animals and people, and so Abraham's flock, his animals, they started to breed. And it had so much. And the people who follow him had children, and people joined him. And then the same thing happened amongst the people of Lot, where he was also a prophet. So people came and wanted to stay with him. They brought their wives and their children and their family, and the animals, start to spread. So it was too much. Too large group with sharing a piece of land, the resources was not enough. So one decided to go this way, and one decided to go that way. One decided to go to the right, one side decided to go to the left. Okay, so they separated themselves, and Lot went among the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah. He went and dwelt amongst these people. And by dwelling among these people, they were called the people of Lot. Because Lot was a prophet. So Allah honored them with the name after his prophet Lot. The people of Lot. So Allah said, the people of Lot, what happened to them? They denied the warnings. They denied those issues of which they were warned by the tongue of Lot. They denied the warnings. What was the result? Indeed, we unleash upon them a large amount of pebbles. Okay? A large amount of pebbles. Or a shower of pebbles. And these pebbles were brimstones. Okay? These pebbles were brimstones. But it spared the family of Lot, who we delivered at dawn. So Allah unleashed this punishment sent this punishment against Lot, the people of Lot. A wind bringing all these stones, these brimstones, and hurling it against them. And it is said, when we say it is said, we don't know how sure it is. It is said that one of these stones was as big as the palm of an average person's hand. And they were destroyed. They were destroyed, all except the family of Lot. Jalalain said, this means Lot and his two daughters together with him, whom we deliver at dawn. Who we deliver at dawn. Now, among the people of the book, the Jews, it is said that these two daughters of Lot, they attribute some real evil to Lot himself. Anyway, it is there in their book, so I recount it. They said that the daughters of Lot were not aware that it was only their tongue that was destroyed, not the world as they knew it. They thought the whole world was destroyed, and they were the last people there. So they say that, that our father there, there's no other man around. So, if we have to have children to repopulate the place, then we have to sleep with our father. Incest. So, according to those narrations, they drunken him, they slept with him in turns, and they got pregnant by them. And they gave birth to the Moabites. Now, the Moabites were people who were enemy to Israel. And it is said that the Israelites made up this story to chastise the Moabites, okay? To chastise the Moabites by telling them, look at you. The origin of your tribe is because of incest. And they didn't care that they were slandering a prophet. And that they were slandering chaste women who followed that prophet. Chaste women who were the daughters of that prophet. Look what they're accusing a prophet and his people of. The remainder of his people. Look. That these children were kept inside and they didn't mingle with the society around them because the society around them was evil. Therefore, they did not know that how large the world was, or have an idea that there were many other people in the world. So when they look at the destruction and only them remain, this is what they thought. And that is why they did that action. Basically, they slandered the prophet of Lot. And Allah said, we deliver them at dawn. Okay, Allah took them out from the punishment at dawn, before the sun rose. When the first light of appeared in the sky, right, at dawn. Which is this happened on a day, we don't know what day, specific day it happened. Okay? And it is called Sahar. Where we get the word suhoor from? Is that, when you take your suhoor before you fast? Okay? So when they say at dawn, it could be also just before dawn, like how we take the suhoor. And when dawn comes, the azan is called. Okay, so it is at Sahar, that time of the day, or of the night, when before the sun, that time. And it's called Sahar, and that at the same time we have Suhoor. So Suhoor comes from Sahar, pre-dawn meal. So the stones that were thrown against them, right? It began to happen as Lot and his family were moving out of Sodom and Gomorrah. So some people have said, some commentators have said, no, it started to happen when Lot was there still. And that it fell on the family of Lot too, while they were there and they had to move. Others said that it fell after they were moved, after Allah moved them from that city. So Allah knows best. And what we know is that they were delivered as a kindness from Allah. Allah delivered them. And the Quran said, as a ni'mah, as a grace, as a blessing, Allah saved them. So it's a ni'mah from us. So it's like that. It's like that. It's like that. Oh, it's like that, which means we, in this way, this is how Allah reward those who are grateful, or those who accept the message, right? They use the word here, requite, which means this is how Allah pay back those, or this is how Allah treat those, the person who give thanks. Okay, so what he's saying then, that those who were saved from the punishment of Allah, this is how Allah act towards those people. Is out of pure ni'mah, pure blessings. So when we are saved from our own selves, and when we are saved from wrong action, your coming into Islam should be considered as a blessing. Allah said that He did not send down the Quran to be a hardship on you. The Quran is a blessing. When you start to feel that it's a hardship, it means that the Quran is acting on your negative qualities. But the soul is very stubborn, eh? And the soul get accustomed very quickly to actions, and these actions become a habit. Like whatever you start to do, the soul will do it and feel comfortable. And if you try to change it, it will be a little difficult. So then you start to say, boy, it's difficult for me, I can't do this. And that is not your true self talking, that is your nafs, your negative quality that is talking. Because once the soul get accustomed to doing one thing one way, it's very hard to change it. So that is why Allah can't tell us to do good deeds. Get the soul accustomed to doing good deeds. And when you get the soul accustomed to praying, worshiping Allah, remembering Allah, obeying God, and doing good deeds, then when you do something wrong, the soul will tell you, hey, that wrong, you'll feel uncomfortable. It is called the self-accusing soul. The self-accusing soul, which means your true self is telling you did something wrong and you feel uncomfortable about it. And that is because you habituate, you make the soul get accustomed to doing what's good. So your heart feel uneasy. Nobody will come and tell you you do something wrong. Your own self will tell you that. Because the soul was accustomed to doing what's right. And when the soul is accustomed to doing what's right, when you do something wrong, the soul will check you. Okay, and it will bother you until you seek forgiveness and you put back yourself on the right path. So all of this is a grace from Allah, it's something good from Allah, just blessings. It's a ni'mah. An act of grace. So this is how we respond, how we pay back those who give thanks. So whoever is a believer in Allah and His Messenger and is obedient to both of them and obedient to the message, right? They are considered as being thankful. And Allah deals with them in this way. And indeed we had warned them. Lot himself had threatened them of our strike, of our season, of our punishment, our grabbing them and chastising them. But they disputed, Allah said, they disputed about it. They create argumentation Jaline said they contested and they denied the warnings that Lot gave them. They create all kind of frivolous arguments. And they even solicited his guests. You know, they went so far that the angels who came, remember the angels came as looking like men. And they were looking like healthy, good men. And these homosexuals in the society, they wanted to have sex with these men. Tell Lot, send out these men to us. Let us have our own way with them. Send out your guests so they may do wicked things with them. And these guests were angels. So we blotted out their eyes, we blinded them, and made them without slits. This means that Allah blotted out the eyes, and it had no slit in the eyes, so it couldn't open. And just a whole piece of flesh covered their eyes. Because Jibreel had smacked them with his wings. So taste now. And this is what I said to them, taste my chastisement and my warning. And indeed, they greeted them in the early morning. You know, we do not, we do, you know, after the Fajr, after the dawn, you know, it becomes, when it gets started, get before sunrise, early morning, and an abiding, a permanent chastisement fell on them. So those who die under that chastisement, they die under that chastisement, and they'll be raised under chastisement, and they'll be put in the fire on that, with that chastisement. So it's like a kind of continuous chastisement. Allah called it the abiding chastisement. They put themselves into that. They will have no rest. And Allah said, so taste my chastisement and my warnings. And indeed, we have made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will remember? We stop here. Any questions? So we stop on ayat 39. Tomorrow we'll continue. No, sorry, we'll stop at ayat 40. And tomorrow we'll continue from ayat 41. Any questions? Okay, no questions. So that, again, thanks for coming. And may we all benefit from this, inshallah. And we ask Allah to increase our knowledge. Make the gaining of knowledge easy for us. And make our ending good. This is the Arabic. Rabbi Zidni Ilman. Matamim bil Khair. Rabbi Zidni Ilman. Matamim bil Khair. والعصر إنسان لا في خسر إلى الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. السلام عليكم. So see you all tomorrow, inshallah. Take care of yourselves.
Inshallah. Enjoy the rest of it.
Yeah, inshallah. That's the night.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, and thanks everybody for the greetings and the whatever messages. I didn't see all as yet. I have to go up and answer them, inshallah. So if you see me reply yet, don't get no horrors, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.